Missing for over a month, but now the body of Steve Meyer Caniso has been found. This is of great relief to friends, family, but also people on social media who've been calling for justice for Steve, having asked for now weeks. Where is he? What happened? He was a festival goer in Nantes and there was police intervention to try and shut down the festival. At that point, several people fell into the river and this is where Steve's body was found. Clearly, there are big questions being asked in France saying, well, what happened? The Prime Minister yesterday made a statement, has said, actually, what is important is I understand that this has affected the entire country. My personal commitment is to shed light on the cause of this tragedy and to draw out all the consequences. Now, the French Prime Minister yesterday acknowledged that there had been a police report and said this police report established no link between the actions of the police and the death of Steve. That hasn't been good enough for some people in France, and they're saying we want justice, we want answers. Another police report, an internal report, has been commissioned. The Prime Minister goes on to say, the conclusions that were made by that report haven't satisfied me. I will make that available to the public, and I also say that the situation is confused and we need to establish the facts. That echoed by the Interior Minister, who said, my first thoughts, of course, are with his family, but the whole truth must be done under the control of justice. These words, again, very similar, seen by the Mayor of Nantes. Of course, this has directly affected the entire community there, who said, clearly the family's suffering, but those responsible, that fact must be established. It must be made clear. This has galvanized huge conversation in France. These are the front pages of, for example, Mediapart, an online investigation site in France, but also Libération, main paper in France here, just saying the death of Steve. What did the police do? That is that big outstanding question. And we've seen actually in France protests. For example, yesterday in Nantes, this fountain was flooded with a red dye to see what looks like, of course, blood. And then asking, you can't see that clearly here, but où est Steve? Where is Steve? And of course, the man himself there. Questions still unanswered. And it's hashtags like où est Steve and justice for Steve that were trending overnight in France as the population demand answers to understand what was the cause of this young man's death.